Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. Let's cover some stuff today. I want to bring up memes and AI, but I want to go deeper into some subsectors of each. The first thing I want to cover is runes. Second is more AI agent narrative stuff. So, we got Bitcoin. I was going to pull up Bitcoin ETH like I usually do, but I'm going to try to make this a shorter video. A lot of my videos, I kind of ramble on a lot of random stuff here. So let me pull up some runes. The reason why I say I love runes right now, I just think obviously meme coins are one of the top sectors for this entire bull run. And we also have memes on top of Bitcoin right now that take up such a microscopic fraction of the actual share of the Bitcoin ecosystem. And I think that's something that is a telltale sign in how undervalued and overlooked that these are still currently in the market. I feel like I've covered runes a couple times, especially like recently, because like I said, I think they're incredibly undervalued at the moment. But some great things that we're seeing with runes, a lot of people in the Bitcoin ecosystem, they might not like this, they might not think it's a great, thing for the ecosystem, but we have been seeing a lot of different rune tokens actually bridge onto Solana. I brought this up, I think, about maybe a little over a week and a half ago on one of my videos. But we actually we're starting to see, we're starting to see a lot of liquidity from, something like Billy or BDC, I think is the ticker now. $1 billion cat here. We got pups. I think this one also, Based Internet Panda might have. Don't quote me on that. I think we got a couple. I think Gizmo is another one. But what I'm getting at here is we're actually starting to see a lot of different rune tokens bridge onto Solana. And if you guys, unless you live under a rock, you guys probably noticed that most of the volume coming out of this, the last 6 to 8 months in crypto has been on Solana, and I think that's going to be a telltale sign to when we start to really go higher fairly shortly from now, that volume is going to stay, somewhat similar. Not to take away from, utility or anything, because I think utility is going to come back incredibly hard at some point, probably just right after Bitcoin, goes into new highs and shows new strength, right? But I think a lot of people are, kind of pricing in that meme coins are just going to completely die off, when utility comes back, and then meme coins are going to come back again. But I think it's just going to be, a mind share combination of mainly memes and AI. I think they're going to just be the top performers the entire time going forward. On top of RWA, I think RWA is going to be I want to call it a slow cook. I think it's going to be something that, is very much so in the background of a lot of people's minds and portfolios. But at a certain time, I think they will have a huge explosive run. And same exact thing with a lot of Bitcoin ecosystem, not even just memes, but I mean mainly memes. That's why I consistently bring these up. But I think Pups here, still I think Pups is one of my favorites. It is one of the most culturally relevant runes with an ordinals attached. There's a lot of prominent people that have Bitcoin puppets as their PFPs on Twitter. Dog I think is a good one too. I don't have anything negative or good, like anything crazy good or crazy bad to say about Dog at all. I think it's just still going to perform fairly well going forward. But I think same thing as like I was saying earlier. I think if something like Dog or some other projects, if they could bridge some liquidity onto Solana, I think that is only going to spark a hell of a lot more buyers at some point once we really start to push forward. My personal favorite rune, that I'm publicly like sharing with everyone is Based Angels. The main reason why, I've been, holding this and I've been in it for literally like 3 to 5 months, just sitting patient is because to me this is the clear Milady slash Remilio bet on the ordinals slash Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem, or not even Bitcoin DeFi rather, but just Bitcoin ecosystem, right? It's just like Retardio and Retardio cousins on Solana. Same idea, but a different community, even though the community is still very strong. Same exact bet, but on Bitcoin chain. It's that, that has been my thesis, and that will continue to be my thesis. That is why I'm so bullish on it. Because personally, like I said, I think it's undervalued. Retardio for a while was completely undervalued. They're sitting at 3 or 4 Solana. I think I brought that up on YouTube once too. Well, like literally when they were bottomed out. And same thing. I think these are just still early. I think we're going to get another huge, massive run for ordinals and runes again in due time. I think over the next few months, maybe, 3 to 6 months from now, or maybe even when Bitcoin starts to run, maybe runes run right alongside Bitcoin, right? We don't know, but we'll see what happens. That's why I'm really bullish on runes though. There's memes on the mother chain, and I expect them to get a lot more market share in comparison to, what they are right now. For the entire Bitcoin eco, they take up this much, like literally less than 1%. I think like 0.1% of, the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? It's tiny in comparison to obviously Ethereum and Solana. Like Solana, I think a huge chunk of their, volume liquidity comes from meme coins, right? Granted though, yeah, Solana is way smaller than Bitcoin, obviously. But I do think I do think that runes still have a lot of growth. I'm not saying that, I expect runes to take up, a huge chunk of Bitcoin as in the whole ecosystem, but I still think, for it to be literally a fraction of a percent of Bitcoin, I expect it to be a little bit more than a fraction of a fraction, right? I think it still has a lot of growth in comparison. That's what I wanted to cover with runes. So let's get into some couple of AI stuff here. I'm not going to go too in depth because, like I said, as I type in AI. So I did bring this stuff up, the other day in some of my videos, but I do want to cover virtual here. Ugh, my fault. Virtual is probably still, this is starting to rip though, that's crazy. Virtual is literally my favorite, or one of my favorite AI projects currently in the space right now. A lot of people will be like, oh, it's your favorite because, it's pumping now, but this is a coin that I've been watching for a long time on and off, but I think it wasn't until recently where I really started to look into it and look into Luna. If you guys are not familiar, Luna is like a sentient AI agent that they've actually built on top of their protocol. But, I think this AI agent, almost like a narrative in and of itself, I just think is one of the most bullish things to come out of, the AI narrative as of lately. And I think virtual on base right now is probably going to be a leading, I think it's just going to be one of the largest and leading protocols for, AI agent creation. And it's getting up there now at 200 million. Literally this was at what? I think it was at in between 20 to 40 million, literally like a week and a half ago. But I think this is just going to continue to grow. And I think one of the main reasons why though, and why I really, really like this, is because when you're dealing with these agents, this is like a new class of speculation, right? When you're creating these agents, you're not speculating on some random token, right? And a token has a utility. You're kind of speculating now that if you're excuse me, if you're buying into one of these virtual AI agents, you're speculating on the speculation that this AI agent can actually do. You're betting on the potential tasks or utility that the AI agent can do rather than just the utility of a token. And I think that's going to be a key factor for a lot of people to want to speculate. Because I look at it right now, there's a couple projects which, I don't know if I want to bring them up. I think I did bring them up in the other videos, but I've been a lot more hesitant lately to, talk about a lot of coins that are lower in market cap. But, I still think I want to bring some stuff up. But what I was getting at, though, is we got, there's some virtual agents, obviously outside of Luna, which is the biggest. Excuse me. When I say the speculation, is we got agents now that are being built. There's another agent, let me just bring it up just to show you guys examples. Where Misato now is another AI agent being built from, a third-party source, aka someone that's not, attached to the virtual protocol, just, someone that decided they want to make an AI agent. And, they're working on a full agent out of this. The speculation is, again, it's on what this agent can actually do in the future, versus just what a token is going to be able to do. And, to me, I look at it in a kind of different way. And initially, this is a coin. Something to keep note of, though, with all of these, is their liquidity is very low. If you see all these huge price swings, it is mainly because of how low the liquidity is with these coins. That is the one thing that I do not like with within this ecosystem, but this is something that they've said that they're working on. I don't really know too much as of why liquidity is a lot lower on these. It's if you got, it's what, 240k, like that percentage difference is, it's kind of a good amount, right? And what that means, though, is when you have very low liquidity to market cap, that just means that when you have even like small buys and sells are going to impact price way more than if you have a coin with, a thick liquidity. Like if it had like 1.5 million, 2 million, that would just make the price swing. So that means when people buy and sell, it's like, how dramatic are the buys and sells? The lower the liquidity, the more insane the price movements are going to be. If this had a thicker liquidity, people could buy and sell a lot at a time, and it's not going to just, move price up and down like crazy. That's the one thing I have to say about these. But like I said, outside of that, you got to keep in mind this stuff when you're buying and selling these. But to me, this is just like one of the smartest places to be, focusing your attention. Like, yes, most of these agents that are being thrown out right now by a lot of people, straight up LARPs, bots, scams. Like, most of them are just people making, almost like pump fund bots, but they're not doing anything with them. They're not actually building something, which is why I'm bringing up Misato, because this is one of the only ones that I've seen that is actually attempting to, long-term build anything, right? And again, that's the speculation within these. That is why I'm, really interested in following these. But this is Misato here. The developer's been, killing it lately. He's kind of just turning Misato into something similar to Luna. That's why I'm heavily watching this. And there's another one too that we brought up in the Discord. And what this one is, it's actually tied to, not a major fund, but, some fund. And what they want to do is they want to take their AI agent here, and they eventually want to integrate their agent to actually trade their fund autonomously and trade, whether it's meme coins or different things like that, using their AI agent on top of virtual. That is that's the kind of speculation I'm talking about, because you're speculating on what the actual agents can do for people or do for someone or something, right? Versus just a token being able to do this, one function. That's why I really like this eco right now. And it's still incredibly early, That's why I'm consistently, watching it literally like every hour, every day. And why I'm bringing it up on the channel so much. But, outside of that too, obviously we got Solana meme coins, a lot of good AI stuff as well. I'm probably going to make a video again, kind of doing a little update on some, AI coins outside of this, AI agent narrative and stuff. But Um, some of my other videos too. I've still been talking about Mumu all the time. Outside of Retardio, if you guys know, is literally one of my highest conviction bets for the cycle. On top of that, with Mog and Retardio are my number 1 and 2 meme coin convictions. They have been for a year and a half, and Retardio has been at least for like 5-6 months now. But Mumu is like a third for me personally. I do hold a lot of Mumu, but again, the reason why I bring it up and I hold it is because I know for a fact it's gonna go a lot high. Bro, my throat is killing me. My fault. I just know it's going to go a lot higher from here. No matter what the hell price does short term, it just makes very clean moves. And again, not financial advice. Please do your own research looking into this stuff, but for me, this is just it's almost like a slow mover, but this is just such a sure, easy bet to me in the market for meme coins. But keep in mind, nothing is easy, nothing is safe when you're dealing with meme coins, right? You definitely got to diversify a little and be cautious of the risks that come with meme coins. But when you're dealing with coins that have withstood the test of time, something like Mumu that has built a huge community, it's only going to take some time before it really just continues. I mean, to see this do a 3 to 5x, I think is kind of a given in due time. But same thing, and it's still right around. I would even call this a potential entry right here. Just again, if you're focusing on something like this for the long term, this would be the time you focus on getting in. Jump in here, DCA here, DCA here, DCA over here if it is something like this, right? Until it starts to break out. Because once the chart does something like this, right, you're not going to be stressing over what pixel you bought, whether this pixel, this one here, this here. Because prices are going to be at 3, 4, 5 times higher than it was, Major thing that I'm focusing on is just accumulating really good gems and just taking it slow, right? But outside of that, that's mainly what I wanted to cover with this video today, guys. Not a major update, because I'm still focusing on the same stuff that I was literally a few days ago, a week ago. Nothing major's changed. The only thing I'm waiting for right now is still Bitcoin breaking into new highs, Ethereum actually waking up a little bit, showing some strength, seeing more bull posts from Vitalik or Vitalik on Twitter, and Solana to just, start cranking again. So that's it. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video, with some more AI stuff and potentially even more meme coins. So appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you later.